I thought I knew my limits, where I slow, where I stop. Lines I've drawn more than once without question. They felt accurate, reliable, a way to understand what I couldn't do. I've stayed within those boundaries, adjusted effort to match what I believed was true. Beyond what I knew, there's no signal, no map, just a step that doesn't match what I thought I was. The pace shifts without warning, breath tightens, then settles. Nothing dramatic, just something unfamiliar. I look for signs, something clear to confirm this is real, but nothing answers back yet. I've trusted what I've learned, patterns, repeated runs, but this doesn't follow them. Beyond what I knew, doesn't explain, doesn't prove, it holds in a place I haven't named before. The road extends past memory, no reference, no comparison, just distance without history. And something continues without asking if I belong here or not. No decision to make, no boundary to hold, just movement that doesn't return to before. Beyond what I knew, still counts, still stays, not because I understand, but because I didn't stop. Not everything is learned, some things are only reached, and what I found out here wasn't planned, just something I didn't turn back from. Beyond what I knew became where I stand, not clearly, not completely, but further than I've ever been. No map, no name, still beyond. This point again, same as before, not the start, not the end, just a place I've stood too many times. The pace drops slightly, breath gets shorter, nothing breaks, just enough to make stopping reasonable. I've ended runs right here, called it enough, called it done, left without thinking twice. I go past this, not faster, not strong, just one step that didn't stop where it used to. The thought appears on time, you've done enough, this is fine. Familiar words that used to land without question, but now they don't settle, they pass through without holding anything in place. I've waited to feel different, stronger legs, clear mind, but this point stays the same. I go past this without proof, without plan, just a line I didn't accept again. The road doesn't shift for me, it doesn't ease or respond, still it stretches beyond what I expect. And maybe that's enough, no promise, no sign, just distance that still exists ahead. No argument to win, no doubt to erase, just a step that continues anyway. I go past this, not louder, not clear, just something that didn't end this time. Not every barrier needs force, some just need not stopping yet, and what I pass right now won't show, but it changes everything after. I go past this and I keep because I didn't stay. Same place, new step, still forward. This point feels familiar, not the start, not the end. Just a place I've stood more than once before. The pace begins to fade, breath gets tight, nothing dramatic, just enough to make stopping make sense. I've ended runs right here, called it enough, called it smart, left without questioning it. I don't wanna stop here, not this time, not again. No proof I can go further still. I don't want to end it here. The thought appears like always, you've done enough, this is fine. Words that used to settle without resistance. But something doesn't follow that line anymore. It stays just long enough to not agree. I've waited to feel stronger, to feel certain, to feel ready. But this moment never changes that way. I don't wanna stop here, not because I know, but because this point isn't where I stay. The road doesn't shift for this, it doesn't ease or adjust. Still it continues past where I hesitate. And maybe that's enough, no guarantee, no promise, just distance that still exists ahead. No argument to win, no doubt to silence, just a step that refuses to end. I don't wanna stop here, not louder, not strong, just something that didn't break this time. Not every moment needs strength, some just need not stopping yet. And this right here isn't the end. Unless I decide it is. I don't wanna stop here, and that is enough not to prove, but to continue beyond this point. Same place, same choice, still forward. It didn't start with a change, no clear shift to mark, just the same day continuing after I said it. Nothing responded, no reaction, no sign it mattered. Still something stayed in how I moved after. I've said things that passed, words that faded without weight, but this didn't follow that pattern. The reality I spoke didn't appear all at once. It stayed in the background of everything I didn't undo. The road felt unchanged, same distance, same rhythm, but each step held something slightly different. Not heavier, not clearer, just connected to something I had already set in place. I've waited for confirmation, for something to prove it was real, but it never arrived that way. The reality I spoke didn't need proof, didn't ask it formed through what I didn't leave behind. There were X's still open, ways to forget, ways to adjust. Nothing forced me forward yet. But that sentence remained unmoved, unrevised, quietly present in everything. No pressure from outside, no demand to prove, just the weight of what I said holding. The reality I spoke still follows me now, not loudly, not clearly, but in every step I didn't skip. Some words don't end when they're said, they continue in everything. stay. I said it once without checking. No build up, no clear plan. Just a line that left before I measured what it meant. The room stayed unchanged, same light, same space, but something shifted in how I stood inside it. I've said things that passed, words that faded without weight, but this didn't leave with me. I spoke it into reality, not prepared, not ready. Just a sentence that stayed longer than doubt. No one marked that moment, no signal to confirm. Still it followed me into everything after. The road felt slightly altered, not different in form, but attached to something I couldn't undo. I've waited for certainty, for proof, for alignment, but none of it arrived before that. I spoke it into reality before I knew how. Not a decision I could trace, just something I didn't take back. There were exits still open, ways to forget, ways to adjust. Nothing forced me forward yet, but that sentence remained unmoved, unrevised, quietly present in everything. No pressure from outside, no demand to prove, just the weight of what I said holding. I spoke it into reality and it stayed with me, not loudly, not clearly, but in every step I didn't skip. Some words don't describe, they define what follows after. And what I said that day became something I couldn't step outside of. I spoke it into reality, now I move not because I'm ready, but because it's real. No plan, no proof, still I said it. I said it out loud, not planned, not prepared. Just a sentence stand left before I checked if I meant it. No one reacted that much, just a nod, a casual nice. But something shifted in how I stood after. I made statements before, things I didn't keep, things that faded without consequence. The day I said I'd run a marathon, nothing changed outside, no signal, no mark, just something I couldn't take back. The road stayed as it was, same distance, same breath, but now every step felt slightly different. Not heavier, not harder, just attached to something that didn't exist before. I've waited to feel ready, to feel certain, to feel capable, but that wasn't part of it. The day I said I'd run a marathon, didn't ask if I could, just held what I said in place without moving. There were exits still there, ways to forget, ways to adjust. Nothing forced me to continue yet, but something didn't release that sentence. It stayed longer than I expected. No pressure from outside, no demand to prove, just the weight of what I said remaining. The day I said I'd run a marathon still follows me now, not loudly, not visibly, but in everything I didn't skip after. Some decisions don't feel like one, they just stay until you do. And what I said that day became something I couldn't ignore. The day I said I'd run a marathon was enough to begin, not because I was ready, but because I said it. about today. No change I can name, just the same route, holding another quiet return. The body moved without comment, no signal, no shift, just repetition that didn't ask to be noticed. I've looked for proof, something clear, numbers, lines, a reason to confirm it's working. Progress without a voice doesn't speak, doesn't show, it moves beneath what I can tell, and still it grows. The breath stayed unchanged, no easier, no harder, just a rhythm that continues without explanation. There were moments I questioned if this was anything or just time repeating. I've waited for something to answer back, a sign, a shift, a difference I could hold. Progress without a voice doesn't prove, doesn't ask, it forms beyond what I follow yet. The road returned, nothing new, same distance, same shape, but something remained after I left. Not in pace, not in time, just in how I came back again without thinking. No moment to define, no change to announce, just accumulation without language. Progress without a voice still counts, still stays, not because it's heard, but because it remains. Not everything needs words, some things become before they're known. And silence doesn't mean nothing changed, it means it's deeper than that. Progress without a voice becomes who I am, not loudly, not clearly, but through everything I kept doing. No voice, no proof, still it moved. No update to give, no change to show, same route, same hour, nothing to report. I passed the same turns as always, no signal that anything had shifted at all. I've relied on markers, numbers, visible gains, something I could name and hold. The progress that doesn't speak, doesn't ask to be seen, it stays beneath what I can say, and still it moves. The body repeats without notice, no breakthrough, no clear step, just motion that doesn't announce itself. There were moments I questioned if this was anything or just time passing. I've waited for confirmation, for something to answer back, but this remains silent. The progress that doesn't speak, doesn't prove, doesn't explain, it forms in ways I don't follow yet. The road returns what I bring, nothing more, nothing less, just distance that doesn't comment. But something remains after I leave, not in time, not in pace, but in how I return. No moment to define, no shift to declare, just accumulation without voice. The progress that doesn't speak still counts, still stays. Not because it's heard, but because it remains. Not everything needs a voice. Some things become before they're known. Silence doesn't mean nothing's happening, it means it's deeper than that. The progress that doesn't speak becomes who I am, not clearly, not loudly, but through everything I kept doing. No sound, no sign, still it stayed. Nothing changed on the surface, same route, same pace, no sign of anything becoming different. I checked for proof in the usual places, time, distance, how it felt, but everything looked the same. I've trusted numbers, visible shifts, something I could point to and say it's working. Invisible progress doesn't show, doesn't ask, it stays beyond what I can measure, and still it builds. The body repeats what it knows, no breakthrough, no sudden gain, just movement that doesn't announce itself. There were moments I questioned if anything was changing, or if I was just moving in place. I've waited for something clear, a shift I could feel, but this doesn't arrive that way. Invisible progress doesn't prove, doesn't speak, it forms in ways I don't notice yet. The road gives nothing back, no feedback, no signal, just the same distance every time. But something holds after I leave, not in numbers, not in form, but in how I return. No moment to define, no point to mark, just accumulation without attention. Invisible progress still counts, still stays, not because it's seen, but because it remains. Not everything that grows appears, some things become before they show, and what I can't see today might already be shaping everything ahead. Invisible progress becomes who I am, not suddenly, not clearly, but through everything I kept doing. No sign, no proof, still it changed. No one asked for this, no message, no call, just a quiet room and a pair of shoes that didn't move on their own. There was no reason to go out, no pressure to perform, just time sitting still, waiting for nothing. I followed plans, met expectations, answered what was given, but this didn't come from there. No one told me to run, no voice, no push, just a step I took without being asked. The body felt unchanged, same breath, same weight, nothing easier, nothing calling me forward. Still I moved without signal, no urgency to explain, just something I didn't ignore this time. I've waited for motivation, for something to pull me, but nothing arrived like that. No one told me to run, no reason to hold, just a line I crossed on my own terms. There are easier ways to spend this day inside, let it pass. No one would notice, no one would ask. But something doesn't follow that option anymore. Not forced, just not chosen. No argument, no resistance, just a direction that stayed when everything else didn't. No one told me to run, and that is enough. Not for proof, not for show, just because I did. Not every action needs a reason, some choices exist without explanation. And what I chose today won't be seen, but it stays longer than anything said. No one told me to run, and I went anyway, not because I had to, but because I chose this. No signal, no command, still I ran. no pressure to perform, just a quiet decision forming before I named it. Choose by the door like always. Nothing changed, nothing new, still I reach for them again. I skipped days, let them pass, called a rest, called it enough. No one questioned why I stayed. I choose to run again today, not required, not owed, just a line I step into without being told. The body feels what it feels, no better, no worse, just carrying what yesterday left behind. The road doesn't ask for a reason, it doesn't care if I explain, still I return to it. I've waited to feel ready, to feel driven, to feel sure, but that doesn't decide this. I choose to run again today, without proof, without plan, just a direction I continue with my own hands. There are easier choices I could take, stay inside, delay again, no cost, no consequence visible right now, but something doesn't follow that path anymore, not forced, just changed. No argument, no resistance, just a decision that arrives quietly. I choose to run again today, not louder, not strong, just real in a way I don't need to explain. Not every choice is dramatic, some just repeat until they become who you are. What I choose today isn't new, it's just still here. I choose to run again today, and tomorrow will come, not because I forced it, but because I chose today. No reason, no proof, still I choose. I stopped before the final change, no second look, no extra pass, just closed it as it was and left it there. The details stay slightly uneven, nothing aligned the way I planned, still I didn't reach to fix it. I've shaped things until they held, refined them until they made sense, but something always shifted again. Left as it is, no correction, no final form to prove, just everything I didn't change, still here with me. The urge appears to adjust, to smooth edges, to complete familiar motion I used to trust without pause, but now it passes without action. No need to respond, no need to improve what I've brought. I've waited for the right shape, clear lines, perfect form, but nothing arrives finished. Left as it is, unfinished, uncertain, no better version to reach, just this state I stayed in. The road doesn't ask for precision, it doesn't check what I fixed, it takes what shows up as it stands. And today I showed up without editing, without change, just the version that remained through everything. No more shaping, no more revising, just what I carried into this. Left as it is, no disguise, no repair, just real in a way I don't need to explain. Some things don't need to be finished, they hold as they are, and what remains without change is closer to truth than anything refined. Left as it is, and I step forward, not because it's complete, but because I didn't turn away. No edits, no change, still moving. I stopped adjusting before I arrived. No final polish, no second pass, just left it as it was and walked out. The details stayed slightly off, edges not aligned, nothing corrected, nothing hidden. Before this moment, I've shaped things until they fit, refined them until they felt right, but it never held for long. No refinement still present, no final form to hold, just standing here with everything left as it is. The doubts still come, precise and quiet. You could fix this, clean this up. Familiar patterns I used to follow without pause, but now they pass without weight. No need to respond, no urge to rework what I've brought. I've waited for cleaner lines, better shape, clearer form, but nothing arrives complete. No refinement still present, unfinished, unpolished, no correction to apply, just the state I didn't change. The road doesn't ask for alignment, it doesn't care what I fixed, it meets what appears as it stands. And today I arrived without edits, without layers, just the version that continued through. No more shaping, no more revising, just the form I stayed in. No refinement still present, no disguise, no repair, just real in a way I don't need to explain. Some things don't improve, they settle when you stop working on them. And what remains without change is closer to truth than anything perfected. No refinement still present, and that is enough. Not because it's complete, but because it's here. No bullets, no polish, still standing. I didn't adjust anything, no final edits, no corrections, just close the door with everything still unresolved inside. The mirror didn't offer answers, no version to approve, just a face that's been here through all of it. I've tried before to arrive different, sharper edges, cleaner lines, something that looks ready from the outside. I came as I am, not refined, not complete, no final form to present, just everything that stayed with me. The doubt didn't leave, it shifted, lost its place in what I follow. Still there, but no longer deciding anything. There were runs I shortened, runs I stretched beyond reason, none of them perfect, all of them mine. I've waited to feel certain, to feel finished, to feel enough, but that feeling never arrived fully. I came as I am, unfinished, unclear, no guarantee to carry, just the fact I didn't stay away. The road doesn't ask for explanation, it doesn't check what I fixed, it meets what shows up as it is. And today I showed up, not ready, not unready, just here without changing it. No more shaping, no more rewriting, just the version that continued. I came as I am, no disguise, no excuse, just real in a way I can't replay. Some strength isn't built, it's revealed when you stop editing yourself. And what remains when you don't adjust is closer No final proof, no clean line. Just standing here with everything I didn't leave behind. The doubt still moves through quietly, not loud, not urgent, just familiar enough to almost follow. But it doesn't settle like before, it passes through the same space without changing where I stand. I've waited to feel certain, to feel complete, to feel enough, but it never arrives fully. Not perfect, still present, unfinished, unclear, no guarantee to hold just this moment I didn't step away from. The road doesn't ask for perfection, it takes what shows up as it is without question. And today I showed up not ready, not unready, just here in a way that holds no more shaping, no more fixing, just the state I arrived in. Not perfect, still present, no correction, no disguise, just real in a way I can't replace. Not everything needs to resolve. Some things just need to stand. And standing here isn't small when I could have stepped away. Not perfect, still present, and that is enough. Not to prove, but to continue. No finish, no form, still here. I didn't arrive all at once, no clear shift, no defined point, just days that kept going without breaking. Some runs stay short, some went longer, some felt right, most didn't. Still something kept forming without permission. I tried to adjust, correct the edges, become something more precise, but it never held that way. The version I arrived with isn't finished, isn't clean. No final shape to present, just everything that didn't leave. There were exits I didn't take, moments I almost stopped, thoughts that tried to settle, but didn't stay. Not because I fought them, not because I was certain, just something kept continuing without agreement. To feel ready, to feel complete, to feel aligned, but it never comes fully. The version I arrived with holds uncertainty, unfinished lines, uneven steps, still it stands without replacement. The road didn't shape me all at once, it layered quietly through repetition, through return. And now I stand here, not prepared, not unprepared, just present as I am. No more building, no more refining, just this state I carry forward. The version I arrive with is what I run, not improved, not resolved, just real in a way I can't replace. No final check, changes this, the list is done. The bag is closed, everything I packed fits into what I've been lately. The room holds still, nothing asked, no extra thought to rearrange, just a quiet way of days that didn't stop early. I've tried to find kind of way edges, add one more layer to feel prepared, but it never settles that way. This is what I bring, not ideal, not refined, no missing piece I can fix tonight, just what stayed when it could have left. the list more than I needed. Choose, watch numbers laid out in rows, like control could be arranged if everything was in place. The room feels quiet, too quiet. No more to adjust, no more to add. Just the weight of what I've done sitting with me. I've chased better versions, closer to perfect. Stronger legs, clearer signs, but it never arrives like that. Everything I bring is enough, not more, not less. No missing piece, no final fix. Just what stayed through every run. I didn't leave. The doubt still visits like it belongs. You could have done more, not quite ready. Lines I've heard so often, they almost feel true. But tonight they don't hold, they pass without settling, like something I've outgrown without noticing. I waited to feel certain, to feel complete, to feel ready, but it never comes that way. Everything I bring is enough, even unclear, even unfinished. No guarantee, no proof, just everything that didn't stop when it could have. The road won't change for me. It won't ask what I need. It takes what I carry as it is. And maybe that's enough. No adjustment, no correction, just distance meeting what I've become. No more building, no more changing, just everything as it stands. Everything I bring is enough, not perfect, not complete, but real in a way I can't replace. Nothing gets added tonight, nothing gets fixed or improved, only accepted. What I bring is mine, not ideal, not polished, but carried all the way here. Everything I bring is enough, and tomorrow I run not because I'm certain, but because I'm here. No more waiting, no more adding, just everything I am. The work is done, no more to add, no extra miles, no last attempt, just a body holding everything it's been given. Shoes are set, gear in place, nothing missing, nothing new, just a quiet overnight that doesn't ask for more. I've chased better days, stronger legs, clear signs, but none of it matters now. Tomorrow is race day, nothing to fix, nothing to prove, just everything I've carried meeting the road as it is. The doubt still speaks like always, you're not ready, not enough. Familiar lines that never fully leave, but tonight they don't settle, they pass without weight, like something I've heard too many times. I've tried to feel ready, to feel certain, to feel right, but it never comes that way. Tomorrow is race day, not perfect, not clear, just a moment that arrives whether I'm ready or not. The road is already what it is, it won't adjust for me, it won't ask what I need. And maybe that's enough, no expectation to me, just distance waiting to be run. No more building, no more changing, just everything as it stands. Tomorrow is race day, no more becoming, no more preparing, just stepping into what I already am. that's fixed or changed, only accepted. What I bring is enough, not because it's perfect, but because it's mine. Tomorrow is race day, and I won't turn away. Not because I'm certain, but because I'm here. No more waiting, no more building. Tomorrow I run. No one tracks this kind of run. No numbers that stand out, just a familiar road holding another return. The body moves without signal, no surge, no peak, just repetition that doesn't ask to be seen. I've chased runs that show clear gains, visible shifts, but this stays unnoticed. The run that builds quietly doesn't prove anything, no moment to claim, just something forming over time. The pace holds without urgency, no push, no strain, just a steady line that continues past expectation. I don't check distance as often, not because it doesn't matter, but because this is different. It doesn't arrive all at once, no clear point where it changes, just layers adding without sound. The run that builds quietly stays longer than effort, not in speed, not in distance, but in what remains. The road repeats as always, same turns, same path, but something isn't the same, even if it looks like it. I've run this before many times, till today, at something I can't yet measure. No finish to define, no marker to confirm, just distance settling into me. The run that builds quietly doesn't stop when I do, it stays beyond the moment I leave the road. Not everything grows inside, some things form without being seen. And what feels small, repeated enough, becomes something that doesn't break. The run that builds quietly becomes who I am, not suddenly, not clearly, but through everything I kept doing. No proof, no sign, still it built. I didn't go far, just a short loop, nothing impressive, nothing new. The same turns I've taken over and over. The pace felt unremarkable, no surge, no breakthrough, just movement that barely registered as progress. I've defined growth in bigger terms, longer runs, faster times, something visible to hold. Small steps still count, not loud, not seen, but they remain longer than I thought they would. The body didn't change overnight, no strength gained, no weight lifted, just repetition without announcement. But something accumulates quietly without asking for attention or proof. I've waited for something clear, a sign, a shift, but this doesn't arrive that way. Small steps still count, not because they show, but because they stay when nothing else does. return each time I come back to it. And today wasn't different, just another small addition to something I can't yet see. No finish to measure, no moment to mark, just distance forming over time. Small steps still count, even unseen, even unfelt. They build in ways I don't notice yet. Not everything needs scale, some things need consistency. What feels small doesn't stay small when it's repeated without stopping. Small steps still count, and now I see, not in one run, but in what remains. Nothing changed today, still something did. I didn't aim for distance, no long route in mind. Just the same stretch I've seen countless times. The body carried what it had, not sharp, not light, just enough to move again. I've chased far, measured runs, counted progress in numbers, but today felt different. Not far, just forward, no pace to prove, just beyond where I stopped, and that is enough. The first steps don't change much, same breath, same weight, no signal that this matters yet. But something settles in motion, not faster, not stronger, just continuing. I've waited for better days, strong legs, clear mind, but they don't come like that. Not far, just forward, no plan to follow, just a line that moves slightly ahead. The road reflects what I bring, not what I want, not what I lack, just what I carry into it. And today I brought enough to not stay in the same place again. No finish for this, no moment to hold, just distance quietly building. Not far, just forward, no noise, no sign, just a direction that didn't exist before. Not every run needs to expand, some runs just need to continue. Not far, just forward, and that is enough. Not everything changed, but I moved again. No leap, no proof, just forward. I didn't wake up with a plan, no breakthrough on my mind, just the same road, waiting like it always does. The body felt familiar, not fresh, not broken, just carrying what yesterday left behind. I've chased numbers, tried to define what progress means in lines and time. One step ahead today, not far, not fast, just beyond where I stopped yesterday, and that is enough. The first steps don't feel different, same breath, same weight, No signal that this will matter yet, but something quietly builds, not in speed, not in distance, but in continuing. I've waited for the right day, clear mind, strong body, but it never arrived that way. One step ahead today, without proof, without promise, just a small shift that stays longer than doubt. The road doesn't change, it reflects what I bring into it each time I return. And today I brought just enough to not stay the same. No finish line for this, no moment to hold, just distance that quietly increases. One step ahead today, not visible, not loud, just a direction that didn't exist before. Not every step needs to prove something, some just need to happen. One step ahead today, and tomorrow will follow, not because I planned it, but because I moved today. No leap, no change, just one step ahead. It used to be loud, constant, a voice I didn't question, telling me where to stop before I tried. Not aggressive, not sharp, just familiar enough to follow without noticing I was listening. It sounded like me at the time, reasonable, measured, safe. The noise doesn't reach me now, not gone, just distant. It still speaks, but I don't stand close enough to hear. I still feel the same weight, same breath, same strain. Nothing easier, nothing removed, but something shifted in space between what I feel and what I follow. The voice appears like before, you can't stop here, but it doesn't land anymore. The noise doesn't reach me now, not silent, just quiet. It passes through without staying, without shape. The road didn't change, the distance didn't soften. Still every step asks something of me, but the answer arrives without argument, without pause, without needing to explain. No fight, no resistance, just space that grew over time. The noise doesn't reach me now, not because I forced it, but because I moved beyond it. Some voices don't end, they fade when you stop standing inside them. Distance does what control never could. The noise doesn't reach me now, and I don't turn back to check if it's still there. I just keep moving. It still exists somewhere, just not where I am. He used to locate exits without looking, a quiet awareness
of where it could end. If needed, if things shifted too far, she ran with options folded into motion. Shortened routes, adjusted effort, a built-in way to reduce what became too much. Not avoidance, just design a structure that allowed control over when to stop. The exit that didn't fit stayed where it was, unchanged, unmoved. But something in me no longer aligned with stepping toward it. Another carried the same habit, measured limits, defined thresholds, knowing exactly how far was required to be enough. But the equation shifted quietly, not the distance, not the pace, just the relevance of stopping lost its place. No clear moment to define it, no reason to explain, just a gradual misalignment that stayed. The exit that didn't fit remained available, unchanged, within reach, but it didn't belong to the way I continued anymore. The road extended as always, same rhythm, same turns, but hesitation didn't attach the way it used to. The thought arrived, you can stop here, familiar, expected, but it passed through without holding. Not rejected, not resisted, just unaccepted by something deeper. The exit that didn't fit lost its function, not removed, not closed, just absent from the way I moved forward. Some paths don't disappear, they remain until they no longer match who you are. What once felt necessary becomes distant, not because it changed, but because you did. The exit that didn't fit still exists somewhere unchanged, but I don't move in that direction anymore. It didn't close, I just outgrew it. He used to map exits before he began. Not fear, just awareness. A quiet understanding of where it could end if needed. She carried alternatives like backup plans, shorter routes, easier pace, options folded neatly into every run, just in case. It wasn't weakness, just structure, a way to remain in control of the outcome. The choice that disappeared didn't break, didn't close, it just faded from reach, somewhere between one step and the next. Another runner held the same pattern, measured effort, calculated strain, knowing exactly how far was enough. But something shifted without warning, not the body, not the pace, just the relevance of stopping began to dissolve. No decision marked it, no moment defined it, just a gradual loss of that option. The choice that disappeared was still there in theory, unchanged, but it no longer fit into the way I moved. The road stretched as it always had, same turns, same distance, but the questions felt different, less less urgent, less present. He noticed it late, almost missed it. That familiar thought, you can stop here, arrived, but didn't stay. Not resisted, not ignored, just unanswered and gone. The choice that disappeared wasn't taken, wasn't refused. It simply lost its place in what I continue to do. Not everything ends with intent. Some things fade when they're no longer used. A path once available becomes distant, not close, just irrelevant to the direction you've become. The choice that disappeared left nothing behind. No gap, no absence, just a quieter way of continuing without looking for it again. It didn't vanish, I just stopped reaching for it. I used to measure how far I could go, not by distance, but by the point I would stop. There was always a quiet exit, not obvious, not spoken, just somewhere I could step away and call it enough. Not failure, not collapse, just a pattern repeating in smaller ways than I noticed. The version of me that quits is gone, not replaced, not rebuilt, just no longer here. I still feel the same weight, same breath, same resistance. Nothing easier, nothing lighter. But something doesn't respond the way it used to. The signal to stop doesn't land. The thought appears like before, you could end this here, but it passes without settling. The version of me that quits is gone, the exit still exists. I just don't take it. The road hasn't changed, the effort hasn't softened. Every step still asks the same question, but now the answer arrives before thought, before doubt can form. No argument, no negotiation, just a line that doesn't shift anymore. The version of me that quits is gone, not because I fought it, but because I stayed long enough. It didn't happen all at once, no single run, no clear moment, just days that didn't break. Small decisions barely noticed, one more step, one more minute, until something stopped leaving. The version of me that quits is gone, and now there's nothing to return to. Same road, same weight, same breath, just not the same. And old race results still exist somewhere, archive split from another version of me. Light legs, easy breathing, miles open without negotiation. People said you're fast. Back then, I believed them. Now the watch tells a calmer story. Pace adjusted, stride reconsiderate. Recovery days appear more often. Longevity entered the conversation. The road feels longer these days. Sometimes someone mentions an old race, old numbers, old pace, and I laugh a little. Fast once, apparently that's what the results say. Some younger runner with my name ran those miles, not today, but still part of me. The younger runner chased records today. I chase staying miles that stretch through years, not seconds. Consistency became the goal. Speed fades quietly, but the road remains, and runners keep returning. Apparently the numbers remember, even when the legs prefer patience. Maybe speed was never the real story. Maybe showing up was. Fast once apparently, but still running today, and somehow that feels like the better result. The road ahead doesn't ask for proof. Not every pace arrives quickly. Some rhythms take years. Morning miles without witnesses. Evening runs after long days that watch your records. But the road knows more. Years ago I chased numbers. Split times felt urgent, but distance changes ambition. Longevity adjusts the rhythm. Speed was loud, but patience lasts longer. Some runners rush improvement, others let miles teach slowly. Progress rarely shouts. A pace built slowly doesn't break, it grows through repetition, through quiet miles, through ordinary days, until the stride becomes home. Recovery became training. Holding back became wisdom. Progress hides inconsistency in showing up when nothing demands it. Anyone can run fast once, but building pace takes patience. Years, not weeks. A pace built slowly moves deeper, not louder, not rushed, just steady through seasons, through distance, through time. Speed impresses, patience endures. slowly outlasts. Records outlasts moments and carries a runner farther. Miles past, years past, the pace remained. Not everyone needs urgency. The road outside doesn't demand speed. Shoes tied quietly before the door. Morning air still undecided. The watch waits for intention, but today I choose patience. Years ago I ran louder, chasing seconds, splits and records. But distance changes questions, longevity adjusts the answers. The road prefers rhythm over noise. Anyone can run fast once, but staying requires something else. Restrained awareness, a pace that understands time, the pace that lasts, doesn't rush, listens to breathe, to miles, to years, not proving, just continuing, just continuing. Recovery became training, holding back became skill. Progress rarely looks dramatic, it grows through repetition, through ordinary returns. Some runners chase moments, others build decades. The road remembers which is which. The pace that lasts moves quietly, not faster, not louder, but steady through mornings, through seasons, through time. Speed fades, records change, but rhythm learns to stay. The pace that lasts belongs to runners who return again and again, through miles, through years, through not the fastest, not the loudest, just still running. Somewhere in memory there's a rhythm, light steps, steady breath. Miles opened easily when I asked, splits lined up without resistance. Back then, running felt simpler. The watch still counts, but the body answers differently. Recovery speaks more often. Pacing changed, longevity rewrote the rules, but the rhythm never vanished. Sometimes on certain mornings I feel it briefly, the pace I remember moving through my stride. The pace I remember doesn't disappear. It waits inside the miles, not demanding, not chasing, just reminding who ran before. chase seconds today. I chase years, miles that last longer than one result. Consistency over speed. The rhythm returns in quiet moments when the road feels familiar, not the same, but close enough. The pace I remember runs beside me, sometimes ahead, sometimes behind, but always part of the runner I became. Speed fades, but rhythm learns to stay. Still exists inside the breath, inside the stride, not faster, just deeper through years of running. The road continues, and somewhere inside it, that pace remains. Version of me exists, different stride, lighter breath, miles used to open when I asked. Splits answer without negotiation. Back then, speed felt normal. Today the road feels different. The watch still counts, but the body asks questions. Pacing change, recovery matters, longevity rewrote the contract. But sometimes on certain miles, I feel it just ahead. The ghost of my PR still running that old rhythm. The ghost of my PR runs beside me, not mocking, not waiting, just reminding who I was and who I still might be. The younger runner chased numbers, today I chase staying. Miles that last years, not minutes, consistency over speed. The ghost never fades, it appears on good days, quietly pulling one stride forward. The ghost of my PR still moves through memory, through muscle, not demanding, just present in every honest mile. Maybe it was never a rival, maybe it was always a reminder. The ghost of my PR doesn't haunt, it guides, not faster, just farther, through years, through miles, through patience. Somewhere ahead, I still see that runner. And you, the street outside looks the same, no signal that today matters. Shoes by the door, watch on the table. Morning air waiting quietly, the run hasn't moved yet, but something already shifted. Years ago, I believed a run began with movement. Tap
pace, before the rhythm. It begins in a decision most people never see. The moment the run starts is silent, no crowd, no countdown, just a runner standing still, choosing to go. Recovery days reshape patience, holding back is discipline. Progress hides inside repetition, inside the habit of returning again. Miles will follow inevitably, but identity forms earlier. Before movement, before effort, before fatigue. Ooh, the moment a run starts is simple, a quiet step toward the door. Nothing heroic, just showing up again. The world sees distance, but runners know the real start happens before the road. The moment a run starts is invisible, before the watch, before the mile, before the rhythm. A runner already decided to move. The door opens, the watch begins, but the run started earlier. The road hasn't started yet, watch still quiet on my wrist. Shoes tied, tight enough, breath steady, but undecided. No pace, no data, just a moment standing still, yeah. Years ago I rushed this part, tap start and chase numbers, but time teaches patience, longevity, adjust the rhythm. Now I stand longer before the watch begins. Running isn't built inside the miles, it's built in the quiet. Before them, discipline forms early. Before the watch starts, a runner is already chosen. Before the pace, before the splits, before fatigue arrives, the decision was already made. Recovery days taught restraint, holding back is skill. Progress rarely shouts, it grows through repetition, through ordinary returns. Morning air, empty streets, no witnesses, just routine becoming identity. Miles will come, but the runner was decided earlier. Before the watch starts, the story has begun. Not with speed, but with showing up, not with effort, but with decision. The world sees distance, but runners know the hardest moment is quiet, standing before start. Before the watch starts,
was already chosen. The watch begins, but the runner was ready earlier.
The run started without momentum. Shoes tight, but the mind uncertain. Legs still carrying yesterday's effort. The road ahead looked longer today. No race waiting, no urgency. Just another morning of quiet miles. Habit more than motivation. Years ago I chased numbers, split times, decided the mood, but distance rearranged the priorities. Longevity replaced impulse. Pacing matters, ego softens. Consistency became the goal. Most runs live unnoticed, no medals for showing up, just quiet effort building slowly. Miles stacking without witnesses, this is where runners stay. Then suddenly someone said, keep going. A voice from the side of the road, not loud, not dramatic, but enough to carry one more mile. Recovery days taught patience, holding back became discipline. Progress hides inside repetition. The road rewards those who remain. No spectacle, no noise, just miles accumulating quietly. Morning alarms, evening fatigue, invisible effort, steady persistence. Most people never see what it takes to keep returning. And again, someone said, keep going, keep going. Just two words, simple, direct, direct. But suddenly, fatigue lost its grip. Running is mostly a quiet argument with yourself. Breath steps wind, but sometimes another voice ends the debate. There's someone said, keep going. And the road opened again. Not faster, just farther. And somehow that was enough. Two words, 1 mile. The run continues. At first it was a challenge, a number on a screen, a race to chase a version of someone I had seen. Miles were just a ladder up towards something new. Proof that I was changing, proof that I could do. Shoes were just equipment, runs were just a task. A way to earn a moment, a way to answer ask.
but something slowly shifted. The races came and faded, the records came and went. Some seasons felt electric, some quietly were spent. But Tuesday still kept coming, the road still called my name. And somewhere in those miles I stopped playing the game. The effort stopped performing, the running stopped pretending. A habit turned to rhythm, a rhythm turned to thread. And slowly through the seasons it stitched the life I led. No single run defined it, no medal held the key. It grew across the years until it grew in me. This is the long identity, not one bright race or day, but years of quiet choices that never went away. This is the long identity, a rhythm I became, not something I performed, but something in my name. This is the long identity, still forming as I go, a life shaped mile by mile more than I used to know. There were years I ran faster, there were days I ran far, there were nights I believed that speed defined who we are. But time changed the question, the miles changed the frame. It wasn't how fast are you, it was why stay in the game, why lace the shoes again when no one's watching you. Because the road remembers the quiet work you give, because the miles reveal the way you choose to live, because somewhere between the start and finish line you stop chasing a title and realize it's mine, not borrowed, not temporary. This is the long identity, built in unseen ways, not in moments of glory, but in returning days. This is the long identity, stronger than a split, because it's written deeper than a race result could fit. This is the long identity, still calm and still alive, through the miles that taught me how to stay and how to strive. One day the pace will soften, that's truth I understand, but identity isn't fragile, it's something that can stand. If I'm still stepping forward, still choosing open ground, then the runner I became is something I have found. This is the long identity, a road that never ends, not just a younger version, but the life the running bends. This is the long identity, still forming quietly, not the fastest story, but the truest one for me. Not just a runner, a life shaped by running.
Some runners chase a finish line, a single day, a single time, a number carved into a chart, proof of speed, a racing start. I used to think that was the goal, one perfect race, one shining roll, but seasons passed and eyes explained that staying here was something gained. Not one big win, not one loud claim. Tuesday miles, a steady pace, no medals waiting at that place, just quiet roads and tired shoes and choices I could still refuse. No cameras when the weather's cold, no headline when the effort's old, just breathing in the open air and knowing why I'm still out there, not chasing proof, just choosing path. Forever in training, that's the frame, not one big moment, not one name. Forever in training, you fit. But if I'm still lacing shoes, still choosing roads I didn't lose, then something deeper still remains. A life measured in quiet gains, not finished, not retired, just continuing. Forever in training, that's the art. An open road, an open heart. Forever in training, still becoming, still learning, still running. Forever in training, that's my way. Not a chapter, but the story I choose every day. Not finished, just training. Just training. There was a time I loved the burst, the sudden proof of running first. Sharp space, loud breath, the thrill of ash. Every run, a proven flash. I burn bright and cold as strength, measured pride in blazing length. But flames burn fast and seasons teach. I learned the value of coming back, of holding pace, of widening track, of chasing miles that never trend, of quiet loops without an end, of winter runs no cameras catch, of summer heat that humbles match. The game grew longer than I thought. The long game runner thinks in years, not in applause or sudden cheers. The long game runner knows the art of pacing mind as well as heart. Not every day is meant to win. Some days are built just to stay in. I'm a long game runner built to last, not chasing shadows from the past. I'm a long game runner step by step, through quiet miles and honest sweat. I'm a long game runner, not a spark, but a steady flame in the dark. I've watched the fast ones rise and fade, seen bright careers briefly display. No shame in speed, I still respect the fearless youth, the bold effect. But I'm building something wide, a road that years can still provide, a rhythm older than the race. Longevity is quiet power, brick by brick, hour by hour, restraint to strength, patience too, knowing when to not pursue. The long game runner reads the frame and doesn't play a shorter game. I'm a long game runner, years ahead, not just chasing one bright thread. I'm a long game runner, still in stride, through changing pace and shifting tide. I'm a long game runner, calm and clear, choosing miles year after year. One day speed will soften more, that's the truth I can't ignore. But if I'm still lacing shoes, still choosing runs I didn't lose, the scoreboard fades, but this remains a life shaped through quiet lanes. I'm a long game runner, that's my way. Not just today, but every day. I'm a long game runner, still becoming, still learning, still running. I'm a long game runner, and that's enough for the story I'm building. Not the fastest, still in the race.
I stopped chasing epic days, stopped narrating every mile. Some runs don't need a headline, they just need a file. I logged the splits, not the mood. I checked the strain, not the crowd. If it felt heroic but wrecked my week, that's not a win, I'm proud. My watch doesn't care about hype, it records what I did, and truth is quieter than what ego hid. Tempo felt heavy, I mark it down. Sleep was low, I move it around. Resting heart slightly high, then today we don't try to fly. There's no glory in denial, no growth in pretending strong. You don't fix the system by arguing it wrong. I used to push when I felt doubt, now I measure what doubt's about. Motion spikes, then fades away, but patterns stay. Day by day, the graph won't flatter, the log won't lie if I plateau. I know why every tweak has a trace. This is science, not a race. No drama, just data, that's how I train. Not every run has to feel insane. No drama, just data, layer by layer I'm building speed that stays there. No drama, just data, clear and clean. Not chasing moments, I'm building a machine. No drama, just data, clear and clean. Not chasing moments, I'm building a machine. Intervals cut short last week, so this time I dial it back. Because improvement isn't stubborn, it adjusts the track. I've learned to love unremarkable days, the kind that quietly raise the bass. I don't need fireworks to know I'm right, I need consistency overnight. One session doesn't define me, trends do. Fatigue isn't weakness, it's information. Rest isn't quitting, it's preparation. You can't outwork bad planning, you can't outpace bad understanding. So I review, revise, return. No drama, just data through trial and test. The loudest work is on always best. No drama, just data, quiet and exact. I'm not guessing anymore, I react to fact. No drama, just data, that's my edge. Precision beats passion at the final edge. No drama, just data, for envy, not chasing low inside nothing on the cheat. There's a version of me months from now who thinks these boring weeks somehow. Not for the feeling, not for the thrill, but for the discipline to stay still. Speed isn't magic, it's monitored strain, adjusted effort and patient gain. No drama, just data, that's the way I grow. Not chasing applause, but watching the flow. No drama, just data, steady and true. When the race gets loud, I'll know what to do. No drama, just data, nothing to fake. I didn't guess my way fast, I engineered the brake measure. Adjust, repeat.
I've rearranged my week again, moved rest days like chess pieces. Watch blitz like they owe me something, like numbers hold my thesis. Try shorter strides than longer, more cadence, less pride. Watch videos frame by frame of how my elbows ride. I change my shoes, I change my route, I change what I eat at night. Still staring at the same damn clock, like it's hiding something slight. I know improvement isn't loud, it whispers then it hides. Some days it feels like progress, other days it just divides. Between who I am and who I think I could be, between a runner I show and the one nobody sees. I don't want fame, I don't want praise, I just want one small number to find each day. It's strange how seconds start to rule your mind. You tell yourself I'm almost there this time, but almost has thousand shapes and patience doesn't trend or update. I'm chasing seconds, not boring, not the crowd, just trying to shape what's holding me down. I'm chasing seconds through trial and error days. Not every attempt shows up on the page. I'm chasing seconds, but what I'm really chasing is proof that I can rebuild the edge of my youth. I failed at tempo runs before it started strong, then cracked. I blamed the weather, blamed my sleep, then faced the simple fact. Maybe I went too hard too soon, maybe too safe to grow. Maybe I needed discomfort more than I needed control. I've written notes I won't reread, tracked effort more than pace, because some gains don't show in split. left already. The voice that laughs, you're not that steady. But I've seen worse, I've come that slow from injuries I didn't show. And every rebuild taught me this: speed is earned in boring minutes. I'm chasing seconds, but I'm not reckless now. I've learned improvement doesn't shout. I'm chasing seconds through awkward form, through runs that feel half broken, half warm. I'm chasing seconds, but I won't trade years of staying for one fast day. There's a version of me at some future line who won't remember today's exact time, but he'll remember the patience it took to stay in the work when progress shook. This isn't hunger for applause, it's curiosity without a pause. How far can I go if I stay honest? How tough can I be if I stay modest? I'm chasing seconds, not the highlight reels, just trying to become something more real. I'm chasing seconds to doubt and grind, not chasing you, just refining mine. I'm chasing seconds, but deeper still, I'm chasing a version that won't quit when I fail. I'm chasing seconds, and that's enough, because this pursuit is making me tough. Not there yet, still learning, still adjusting. I'm chasing seconds. I'm chasing seconds. I'm chasing seconds. I'm there yet. Not there yet. Still learning, still adjusting. I'm chasing seconds. I'm chasing seconds. I've rearranged my I'm chasing seconds. I'm chasing seconds, still learning, still learning. Chasing